he don't hold back in making you mad.
Right.
Hey
So,
Bill,
so
I agree. I agree that this country is divided, and I think we all know that. We all know that this country is divided right now. And the thing that I was trying to put out was that Donald Trump convinced the other races to come on board with him. That's the reason he's in office right now. He's in office because those other racist people that you're talking about joined forces with him, and he's running the country.
Right.
And he's pushing the buttons. He's destroyed, but we already know he's a well-known racist from way back. The Central Park piece that happened in New York, he done that. He had people working for him that were migrants. He had contractors working for him. He didn't pay them, and different things like that. He's a known racist.
Yeah.
But the thing I just keep stressing is that he convinced these other people to vote for him, to get him in office.
So
that's the part I'm talking about.
Because he promised them that he put him in power, and he did. Matter of fact, one of the things that he's doing, going after the Smithsonian, is he's planning on going after the African American Heritage Museum.
Yeah,
that's his next goal. Watch, and that's going to be in the next couple of weeks, because the key was to take over the Smithsonian so he could go after those things. And then he put that little crazy girl in charge of doing that. So that's the next thing that we see. And speaking of that, can we talk about the parade he's trying to have?
Wow. It's coming. Yeah, let's talk about it. Go ahead. Yeah, what was it? 92 million?
Listen.
That's what the estimated cost? I heard.
It may cost more than that, because if they run them tanks down Pennsylvania Avenue, it might collapse the streets. Might fall.
It might fall through.
Yeah, I don't know if the streets over the metro can handle 121,000 ton, 24,000 pound tank. It's about 62 tons a tank.
Listen,
what that tank weigh, Joe? You tank driver? That about right?
I don't think he's gonna do that. I don't think he's gonna have them tanks out there. He tried. He wanted to do that the first time. He wanted to do that the first time he was in office.
He said that when Kim had his thing, he said, "Why can't I have one like that?"
Right.
See, the thing people don't understand is that Donald Trump want to be a dictator himself. All those that guy from Turkey.
Yeah,
he want to be like him. He want to be like the boy Kim from over in North Korea. He like Putin. He want to be a Putin. He see the big parades they be having with the big old missiles and stuff. He wants to do. He's just like a little child, man.
Yeah. Half of those are probably fake, Joe. They're probably not even real.
I know, that's what I used to say the same thing. Just
props,
ain't nobody got no missile that big, man.
Damn props. Yeah. Mac, I ain't heard from you tonight, man. What's going on?
Not much, man.
You lost all your money in the stock market. We done went through the stock market thing, but you lose your ass, or you good?
No, you see what I put out there the other day. I agree with you guys. It's a cone. The market goes down, and if you can afford to buy, that's good. When it comes back up, you make money. But meanwhile, you out here trying to eat. So guess who makes money? It's the guy with money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So you straight then?
Hey, I refuse to check my 401k.
You don't want to look at it?
I don't want another heart attack.
Oh Lord. Don't do that then. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Leave it alone. What about you, Ron? You look happy. You didn't lose your ass. Oh, you good?
Bro, I'm losing just like everybody else.
Well, like everybody else, I'm out of that, dog. I ain't got no money to put in it, so
That's
I'm
what
laughing
I was
at
talking
I'm
about.
laughing at all of y'all, man. I ain't got no money in the market, man. Shit, I'm a poor man. I can't
Hey,
afford to be.
I got one little Facebook friend. He's a Trumper. Okay, and when I said that about the market, he said, "Well, I bought to it a dip, but yeah, I just left it alone because you talk about $100, $200, or even if you're talking about $2,000, you ain't nothing.
Right. Ain't nothing you can get in the game, man.
Yeah, I mean, it might be something to you, which is good. And I'm glad you got that. But the other guy that put millions in,
Right.
he's the guy that made money. Man, forces the class system even more. The upper class and the poor class, if you will. It puts a bigger divide among them.
And like adding on to Mac, and that's like I said earlier, like if these cats got thousands and thousands of shares at something that costs $200 a share, right? A joker like us, we can't afford to no dang on $200 a share.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
I dare to guess those guys ain't never even been in a grocery store.
What's that, Mac?
Those guys ain't never been in a grocery store.
They ain't never been in life. No.
They don't even know what it's like to buy food.
Yeah, because they done had what that Uber Eats, they done had that all their life. Somebody go buy their food for them.
Right.
Uber Eats ain't new. People think it's new. People been shopping for them for a long time.
I saw Trump over there. It took him 20 minutes to pronounce the word groceries. He ain't never said
no.
He said he invented that word, man.
Yeah, he just invented that word.
He just invented.
That's what I call it. I call it groceries.
Yeah.
Somebody just told him that word before he went out there.
Yeah. Yep. But what else going on, Ron? You come in a little bit late. We done went through the stock thing, but
I see.
What else you got? What you got concerned, man? You want to bring up, bring to our attention, other than the stock market? We about done with that. I mean, you good. Your money good. You got enough in there. You ain't got to worry about it because it shot back up, man. So you ain't got to go jump off the Delaware Memorial Bridge. So
hey,
it
went from 79 cents back to $1.
Yeah, it shot back up. But what you got, man? What's going on in your world?
But I was listening to you guys. You guys, as always, make excellent points. Because the thing about someone was saying earlier about Trump convinced. He didn't have to convince him. He didn't. They were already waiting for somebody. The one I always say, the one thing I understand about white folks is that throughout their history, they never had to compete for anything.
True.
So that environment for them is scary. Because, growing up, somebody got him a job. Didn't have to go to school. He got to work the farm. But they operate throughout the history of this country through attrition. You know what I'm saying? You go work in any state, county, city government, and there's always a guy who uncle, aunt, mama got him a job. He been there 25 years now. Everybody in front of him is gone. Well, Billy Joe, you've been here the longest, so you're gonna be in charge.
The real DEI.
You know what I'm saying? So he's in charge. He's never been trained to do anything but follow. And that's that guy. When you go to work, that's that guy you run into. You like, people always say, "How did he get that job?" Well, how did she get that job? Get that job. You know what I mean?
Right.
I look at job like a position. I always remind myself a position is structured in a way that it pays X amount of dollars, X amount of benefits, right? It's not the person. Whoever get that position supposedly will get that salary and those benefits, right? So you don't always get the person that's gonna, go in there and think about the rest of the folks. What these folks do is they go in and they stash what they can stash because they just been doing that their whole life. Not all of them, but the majority of them, like you were talking about, the ones with money. People with money invented money makes money.
Hey, that's the real DEI. Education, and I'm in.
Well, that's why they want to get rid of the Department of Education. That's old. That's what they did back in the slavery day. We don't want them to know nothing because what happens is when you invite somebody into the party and they come there, and then everybody gravitate towards them. Guess what? You got to get rid of him now. You know what I mean? Because he done stole your position.
Yeah.
And a lot of time with us, we've been told we got to be twice as smart and this and that. I was telling someone just the other day, I remember as a kid, someone telling me, they said, look, when you get a job, don't you drive your good car to work and don't wear your good clothes. Because if you do, Master ain't going to promote you. If you dressing better than he is, he's not going to promote you. If you're driving a better vehicle than he drives, you don't need no promotion. And the reason why I'm not going to promote you is because you're not going to quit. When we didn't get promoted in the military, did we quit?
No.
Some of us did when our enlistment was up, we got out, right?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Right? But the goal was to make you get out.
Yeah.
And hence the reason why not many people who joined the military retired from the military.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of us learned how to navigate the wickets, but that's basically all we were doing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because we look at folks that, was in front of us. And I always say, I met a lot of E9, but very few chiefs. Because, people get in position and they think that they got to protect their position and not bring nobody along with them.
Right.
We lost that. That's where as a people, we lose every time because we don't believe in pulling each other along.
I work for mine. You got to work for yours.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, you talk about Donald Trump. Donald Trump been the same guy his whole life. It's just that what he was promising people was buying. And that was, I'm going to put money in your pocket. You're going to get a better job than they are. I'm going to get rid of all of them and I'm going to hire you.
Yeah.
All the people all the folks that he have working for him right now, right? How many of them are qualified for those jobs? He just gave it.
None.
0.
Well,
he gave the job.
You got to go all. Look at his kids.
Yeah.
Ain't none of them qualified to do nothing.
Listen,
but what he
all of them went to school. I didn't say they learned anything. They went to school.
Bobby, we got to submit our resume. We got to be interviewed. He got people don't even know their name. And he told them, don't worry about the federal payment system. You're going to make this amount of money.
Yeah.
The rest of us got, I'm getting my step promotion in July.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Get that fogey.
Yeah. So, this guy, he has no regard because he was born wealthy. So nothing matters to him.
Right.
Exactly.
You can see how he treats kids. He look at the kids like somebody broke in his house and got his wife pregnant.
Well,
It can't be his kids.
Ron? I want to ask you something. You said something that kind of like triggered something in me right there when you said about the fact that how do you think politicians been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
They've been promising stuff for a long time. So what makes Donald Trump different?
But
exactly.
And that's so true. But think about it, right? Now that goes back to the thing I talked about with the philosophy, right? We are thinking things, right? So if I tell you that the house is on fire, you're not just gonna take off and run. You're gonna investigate like, well, where the fire at? I don't see it.
Right.
But that's the thing, right? So politicians, they tell you stuff all the time. You're 100% right. But because you tell me, don't mean that I had to believe it.
Right.
As a thinking thing, I know that, man, he said he gonna build a bridge by himself. I know he can't do that.
Right.
So when those kind of
The
things
wall,
happen,
he gonna build the wall too.
right.
Yeah.
So you gotta be able to decipher what's real and what's not real. What can be accomplished and what can't be accomplished.
Well,
and I always tell people, when I vote for the masses.
You know, it all comes down. A lot of it comes down to what Bill was saying too. Bob, I didn't mean to cut you off, but these people are already racist.
Oh,
they
yeah.
already racist. You know what I mean?
And just like I said, right, it's going to take that one or two people up there that go against him on a regular before other people start to fall in the line, and it's starting to happen a little bit at a time.
Yeah,
right. Where they're going against him, and when that starts happening, then the dominoes start to fall back the other way.
But Bobby, that's what John McCain at the end of his life.
Yes,
you know, he realized all his life he was on the wrong side, and at the end of his life is when he started making decisions where, just like you said, he knew it was wrong.
Yeah.
And he said, I gotta say this is wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
And they mad with him to this day when he didn't vote for that Obamacare.
And Brian, even before that, they was mad with him when he shut that woman down, talking about no, he's not Muslim. We just happen to think different ways. They've been pissed with him since then.
Yeah.
But with that, I don't know if y'all saw it, but they keep throwing these things back, what Donald Trump said when he was younger. And they did the thing where they did he was trying to get the land from the Indian tribe. He was trying to buy their land. And he went in front of Congress and all of this. And he says, and talking about, that's native land. You can't do this, can't do that. And he said, well, they don't look like Indians to me. And the man said, well, I'm glad that pretty much that you are who you are, or not in my position, because you wouldn't know one if you saw him. So, but these are the things, like, he does not have that philosophy thing, because he's not a thinking thing. He's a reaction thing.
Right.
He reacts to anything and everything that somebody says that sounds good to him. He does not know anything. He is, I know people that say he's the smartest man. He is a smart hood, but he's a dumb person.
Yeah, he doesn't read at all. Matter of fact, all the folks from in the past said
why they don't want books in the school, because they're afraid he might want to pick one up, mess it up.
Right. He can't read a book. Matter of fact, he even held the Bible upside down.
You got to tell him what part of the book. No, you got it upside down, dude.
Yeah.
He couldn't tell. He said, I can't read.
He like, man, I ain't never held this book before.
It probably,
I'm out here faking the funk.
It was probably hot. It probably burned his fingers.
It probably did.
But what I was saying earlier about how they've been giving things, you look at everyone he has in office, he knows that the majority of them couldn't pass the Congress without Elon Musk being by his side. And two, the reason why they shouldn't pass the Congress is because you got folks walking around with badges on. How many people died earning that badge? And every day you walking around taking pictures on it. First of all, if you don't have certifications and all of these other things, why are you wearing the badge?
Matter of fact, they just fired Cash Patel from the ATF. They ain't say a whole lot about it on Fox, of course, because he ain't been showing up for the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't doing that. Like, you got the easiest job in the world. All you got to do is show up for the meeting. He ain't doing that.
Yo, ain't he the guy that told him, I'm going to spend the majority of my time in Las Vegas?
Yes.
Right? I'm gonna be a cabinet member, but I'm gonna be in Las Vegas if y'all need me.
And he meant that.
And people don't understand when they go to vote, like Bobby was saying, you vote for the masses, you don't vote for yourself. And that's what happened with these people. They voted from themselves, and folks are so still easily influenced. I was going to say earlier, it's like that old saying, if you believe that, I got a bridge in Manhattan, I'm going to let you have for a good price.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's how Jim Jones got people to drink the Kool-Aid. When I was a kid, I used to always wonder how, because I grew up on Long Island. I used to go hang out in Manhattan, and I used to always wonder. I said, what is a pimp telling these women to get them to go out here and turn 100 tricks a night?
Here we go.
What kind of line this brother using? You know what I'm saying? How
But
you get
you wanted
somebody
that
to
line
do
for
that,
yourself,
man?
didn't you?
Bobby, you can't. You've been a single man all your life. Well, but not all your life till recently. But you can't answer that question for Ron. Pimping.
I ain't got no speech for that one.
Pimping. You don't know about pimping, man.
Buddy.
I know it ain't.
Man.
I know
All I
they
heard
told
was
me it
that
ain't easy.
It ain't dead either.
Big pimping.
Bob and T Bates. Yeah. Look, hey, look. Let me. Let's move a little forward. The 4 soldiers that lost their lives in that training accident.
Lithuania.
Yeah. Now, well, hell, all of us other than Mac and Joe, we were stationed there at Dover, which is
Still
Port
here.
Moresby. Huh?
Still
Yeah,
here
but you
somewhere.
guys still there. Now Travis don't do that anymore, do they?
No.
No.
Is Travis shut down?
It's a pass through
Okay.
from the Pacific. But I'm gonna tell you something. When I was working in contracting a few years ago, I was working a lot of the contracts over in the mortuary.
Mm-hmm.
And PACAF had, or DOD, somebody in DOD came up with the idea to push PACAF out of the business when soldiers get, killed in Asia or anywhere in Asia. They go to PACAF,
Right.
to Travis, to Dover.
Travis. Mm-hmm.
So they convinced them to say, well, let's send everything to Dover.
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking to one of the ladies that work over there, and she was like, I got to go TDY to Yokota. Was it Yokota, one of the bases in Japan? I said, why? She said, because they're giving us all the mortuary stuff. She was asking me, the contractor that we were buying the caskets from, can we use that same contract for the folks over in the Pacific? I was like, no. Because this guy is not an international, company.
Right.
Where he's going to, spend money to send caskets over to Japan. And so I was saying to myself, why are they doing that? It's because it's all a show. They're calling it a dignified transfer now. That's the term, right? Everybody uses. But I went over there many times, bro, and I'm here to tell you that these guys do not. Trump, the last time when he did come to Dover, he came to Dover at 2:00 in the morning. And the majority of the time he was at Dover, he bitched about the facilities in the airport. Oh, that furniture's ugly, and you need to do something with it. He literally, that's all they was telling me the majority of the time he was there, that's what his complaint was.
Wow.
So he wanted the wing to violate all the contracting laws and policies and go out and get the most expensive furniture they can buy on taxpayers' money.
Just so
What were you gonna say, Chester, about the 4 soldiers?
Yeah, well, you know about the 4 soldiers that died in that accident, right? That training accident.
Yeah. And he didn't attend the dignified
That's what I'm
transfer.
saying. He's not interested in that stuff.
Yeah, they Joe, let me see. Just pop it up right quick here. If you didn't see it, Joe.
Oh yeah. No, I had seen it, but I didn't want to.
Okay, you see it. Well, he most time stuff like that, man, that I don't know if the president shows up for everyone, but this is pretty high vis. Instead of Trump showing up for this this transfer here, where these guys coming back home, he's out
Golfing.
playing golf.
Yeah.
And say he made a few $1 million out playing golf when he should have been, you know,
He
paying
cheated.
some respects to these soldiers here.
Yeah,
You know, yeah,
I
you know,
agree.
that's how sorry that Joker is, man.
I'm not a golfer, but I seen that Joker swing, and
Yeah, that's what
I know he ain't winning nothing. That Joker's stroke is terrible, and I can't golf.
He wins somehow or another, man. He wins.
Because they let him win.
They
Yeah,
let
they
him win. Yeah, they
let him cheat.
They
Mhm.
let him
know,
cheat.
and he cheated.
He got that same disease I got.
What's
That
that, man?
Dunlap disease, where my belly done lapped over my belt.
Wow.
The
Well,
Dunlap.
Hey,
well,
listen,
you know what, Chester,
Mhm.
you know, also, now that you're talking about the military, I was thinking myself that that's one of the biggest out of all the craziness that's going on with Donald Trump. That's the biggest part that I'm really concerned about. The fact that he is overseas doing all this. You know, we didn't have a chance to meet when he was doing the that little piece he did with the chat where he bombed Yemen. You
Mhm.
Yeah,
know, and then we
yeah.
didn't never get a chance to talk about that. But that was really devastating to me. You know what I mean? To know that people were putting that type of information out there
You talk
and
about
using
signal
it.
chat.
And yeah,
Oh yeah.
and it was soft, and we all are military people. We know how that could damage the mission.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know,
Yeah.
it could damage the mission, but it went away so quick. We didn't even
Mm-hmm.
have a chance to even talk about it.
It's
Right.
silent.
it went away quick. It went away quick because everybody involved were people that they want to see do these things.
Right.
If Joe Biden's people, if Austin had a conference like that, and they sent it to a reporter, Austin be up, hey, he be in them stripes. Cause
Mm-hmm.
see, for y'all who don't know, we used to go to Leavenworth, right?
Right.
Military. Well, they put them in any federal prison now. It's wherever a bed is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Just like any other. It ain't just Leavenworth no more.
Mm.
You don't want to go to that bed.
So if Austin's people had done anything like that,
Oh yeah.
all hell would have broke loose.
Of
Yeah.
course.
But
Well, I was going to say, you know, off the subject back to the 4 soldiers. You know, Biden called hell for checking the time on his watch at
Right.
a dignified transfer.
Hmm.
Okay, I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Now I don't know who attended the dignified transfer, but I know that Trump wasn't there. I don't think
no, he
JD was
was
there.
no, he
Was Hexat there?
No.
I mean,
I think
But
Hexat went.
Hexat was there.
No.
That's
I think he
also
went.
considered being presidential. When you do those ceremonies like that, that's a part of the family. You're there to comfort the family. It's not about you.
Right.
Right.
As
Right.
a president, it's about you comforting that family and to
Mhm.
send out that message to all the other military families that,
here for you.
yeah, instead of preaching it on TV,
Mhm.
and to get back to that Snapchat, y'all know why they don't talk about that anymore, right?
Mm.
Because they threaten all the press that if you continue to talk about this, you're not going to get invited to the gaggle. You're not going to get invited to the White House press. So this is how they operate.
Right.
They actually told AP, I believe it was, you're no longer invited to the.
Yeah, AP took him to court and won.
Yeah,
They just
Yeah.
report
Yeah,
in the back.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. So people,
you ain't saying the Gulf of America.
right?
Mhm.
So people are so afraid of the connections that they acquiesce to whatever the hell he wants, and and a lot of did y'all hear the thing not only about the dignified transfer, but how he trying to tell law firms what they do.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, he started in on judges a long time ago, Ron.
But he
Uh,
wasn't that bold to go after a law firm. You got to be crazy if you think you're
That'd be
gonna.
crazy to go after a judge.
Well, listen,
Well,
the
they hate judges,
Congress just
but they need lawyers.
vote to go after to reduce the power of federal judges just now. They just did that. The Republican Congress just passed something to reduce the power of federal judges so they can't affect Trump's agenda.
No,
but come on, man. You know why they passed?
Wow.
They passed stuff that they know is not going to get signed into a bill, to a law, and then they just go out on the street and say, "Well, I co-signed this bill, such and such and such," and they got killed in committee. They just passed it. You know, that's all a front. That's all for show.
Yeah, that's all. That's all. All the stuff that he does is for a show. All these executive. He just signed the executive order today.
Executive order is not a law, and it don't
know
the country.
He just trying to lift regulations. You know, he know he got 3 years. He got over 3 years left in office. You know, these executive orders will be in place for 3 years. No doubt.
You know what his game is? His new game is, since the Supreme Court said he cannot be tried for anything he does as a president. That's when he came up with the idea of doing executive orders, right? Because that's in the president's wheelhouse. So he's gonna do executive order on everything. And how are you gonna get rid of a department with an executive order
that Congress created?
And because Congress is afraid, they are afraid of Elon Musk primarying their ass when they come up here in the fall. That's what they're all afraid of. Money being used against them.
Right.
Elon shouldn't be around by that time. I don't think.
Elon ain't got but another 20-something days left.
Right.
Elon,
this month,
wait a minute. You think Elon gonna go in 20-some days?
Because he talking too bad about Trump's boys.
Yeah, man, they fighting. They got a little infighting going on right now.
Elon already gone.
He dogging his boy.
But like I said, he mighty quiet, man. Somebody need to check on him, see what's going on.
Nope. No, don't check on him. Give it a week or two. Then we'll go check on him.
You see what you see the thing his brother put out.
I did.
The one that's in charge of Tesla right
now.
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear that.
He dogged Trump. He dogged him.
Who's that? I didn't hear that.
Elon's brother.
I ain't never had a brother.
In charge of Tesla. They losing their money.
Yep.
They losing their ass right now.
They losing big money.
Went in on Trump.
He said that Trump's boy Navarro was dumber than a bag of bricks, and then he came back and said, "I apologize to all bricks," because
yeah, that's what he said. He said,
ugly,
we
man.
can't do that. You can't do that to the bricks.
That's ugly right there. Damn.
Bad. I told y'all, man. I told y'all by summer, by summer, and I don't mean like in July. I mean like when we hit that date that they say summer.
Before the end of June.
Man, shit.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen, Bob?
It's gonna be over, baby. Hey, look, I already got me a box of popcorn.
That's what
we're gonna have another Juneteenth day.
Yeah.
Remember what James Carvell said? Don't do nothing, just sit back and watch.
That's it. Hey, I got me a box of popcorn.
Yeah. That's what he said.
The fireworks on the 4th, they gonna all be wet, baby. Ain't nothing gonna spark.
All good things got to come to an end.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And as soon as that gamble changed hands in the fall, right? And the gamble is going to drop in the fall. They're going to change. They in trouble.
Yeah,
it's gonna be 2025. Gonna be the best Christmas present America ever had.
I hope so, Bobby. I had to watch do another view of Training Day, man. Y'all all seen Training Day, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had to go back and watch that again, man, and kind of get myself back in the groove, man, with all this mess Trump doing.
King Kong, baby.
Yeah.
King Kong, baby.
On me.
Because
nothing on me.
It's crazy, man. Some crazy.
He gonna wake up tomorrow and do something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well,
how does a guy that professes to be smarter than everybody else don't know a damn thing? What he does is it's a bait and switch. So he hires people to do all this dirty work, and then he don't know nothing about it. I didn't know that was going on. But you know, something interesting occurred. You know, I thought about this. I said, you know, in order for them to pay people to leave the job and pay them till the end of the fiscal year, right? You have all types of HR systems that you have to go in and populate with your work hours and things like that, right? Well, all these systems have disclaimers, right? That say if you're not truthful about what you're doing, you're subject to, you know, punitive action,
Yes,
right?
Yep. Yep.
So the people that are doing these things are subject to punitive action, not Trump.
Right.
So if you're the head of an agency and you're sitting there and putting in 80 hours that somebody didn't work, that's illegal as hell, and you're going to go to jail. Because you're signing off, you're certifying that this person did work these hours. You're talking about billions of dollars that you're going to just upright and lie and say, yeah, they work.
Yeah.
You got to work to get paid. If you don't work the hours, I can't pay you.
Exactly.
So how am I? And if you believe that you can offboard the federal government and the check is gonna come to your house, I'm like, this stuff is old, bro. The check is always in the mail.
Oh.
It ain't my fault. I sent you the check.
Yeah.
Well,
Now what you gonna do? You ain't paying your bills. They coming to get the car. They coming to get that nice boat you got down at the lake. If you thought these fools was actually gonna pay your dumb ass to go sit home till the end of the fiscal year.
Hey, hey Ron, I hear you. Hey, look, you can't put that electric in your baby name.
No,
you can't put that. Hey, you can't put that electric in Ray Ray name.
I get nothing more.
you know what I was looking at? I said to myself right then, you know, you talk about some of these people that's sitting behind these desks here in these positions. I was thinking to myself, just my thought. If I was sitting in one of the positions like the Department of Defense and I was the head man right about now, I'd be scared as hell, man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't be comfortable
No.
sitting there like that, man. You know what I mean? Knowing I'm not, you know, I don't have anything on my resume to fit me being in that position.
See, but they put you in a bind because they said, okay, you got to sign this. You got to sign, you know, Joe. You got to sign all these pay stubs. And these
That's what I'm saying.
if you don't sign it, I'm getting rid of you.
Yep.
But you signing it under duress.
Right.
Not only that, you're actually creating criminal activity. Now, what's to say when the new Congress come in and the Democrats run shit, they don't come in and start sending all y'all to jail? Yeah, Trump can't pardon y'all.
That's right.
So that's what they all think. Well, if we go to jail, he gonna pardon us.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're thinking right now.
Yeah,
that's what all those guys in the department, head chef, that other guy that was with the department with the CIA, that girl Naomi, whatever her name was, they all know Donald Trump gonna get them out. They were sitting up in that meeting the other day and didn't open their mouth. What's called Marco Rubio already scared. He's scared as hell right now. You look at Marco Rubio. Every time you see him, he don't look right.
Yeah, he got to look like he got shit in his pants every time you see him. He's not gonna smell it. Yeah, yep, that's what he looked like.
What the hell I done got myself in?
But here's a man that sent his father. He sent his father's best friend to jail twice.
Oh, Marco Rubio?
No, Trump.
Oh yeah.
And then he said, well, he's not really an accountant. He more like a bookkeeper. You know, that reminds me of that old joke. You know, they say, well, you know, it's not really a regulation. It's more of a guideline. You know? Now he's been working as their CFO for 100 years. All of a sudden, he's not an accountant. He's not he never was a CPA. Right? But he sent that old man to Rikers Island twice for lying for him.
He did. Yes, he did.
He did not come to his aid.
Is he still in jail?
No, he out now, but he can't go to the public because everybody knows what everybody's doing in New York, right? Every time
put no money on the
they're like, yeah, that's him. There he is. That's him. He's shamed. He's shamed for the rest of his life.
Didn't send him a quarter.
No. Rikers Island is the worst place in New York to be incarcerated.
Yes, sir. It's right here. Yep. Yes, sir.
Twice he went there with the boys. And them boys was like, You back, cuz?
And somebody get killed up in Rikers Island every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Trump and I'm gonna tell you something else you guys forgot about. Where's Rudy?
Yeah.
Rudy ass quiet.
Where Rudy at?
He off somewhere with that shoe polish, man.
Yeah, he on the soup line, man.
Rudy don't get invited to no White House balls, no nothing. He ain't even down at the mansion when everybody.
Well, they done took everything Rudy had.
Yeah, I know. He on the soup. He at the soup kitchen.
He cut his ass off.
Well, didn't he bail Rudy out?
Elon Musk paid all of their bills.
I don't know if
I think somebody paid all of Rudy's debt for him. And
somebody did pay. Just like Musk paid that money in New York, that $450 million.
Right. So Rudy ain't as stupid as we think he is. Rudy said, "Well, I think I better carry my ass somewhere and sit down."
No, Rudy. I think that's what I think. Rudy learned something that we all know, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can mess around. You can fuck around with them sisters if you want to.
Yeah,
you can mess around and get with the wrong one.
He had to pay them
to be like they relentless, bro. They pit bulls.
Yeah, they had to pay.
That girl was like, we ain't letting this shit go. They was offering the money on the side.
He had to pay them girls.
He had to pay them.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to drop off. Okay, I'll talk to you.
Okay, man. All right, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. All right.
All right, thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, them sisters was like, nah, we want our money.
Mm-hmm.
You talking shit about us, we want our money.
Yes, sir. Yeah, boy.
It's a whole lot of them disappearing, man, and retired, like me. Retired.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't even see them nothing. You know, they ain't trying to do nothing. They don't want nobody. Look, some of them guys call me from the old days, you know, and all of them just disappeared, man. And they writing books though. They writing books.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they writing books.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys remember a few years back when Petraeus got caught with classified information, giving it to his girlfriend, his mistress, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, Petraeus was caught up in the scandal when he was down at MacDill, when he was the 4-star down at MacDill. Them high society ladies was meeting all of his staff, him and his staff, at the local juke joint. And then it got out in public. One of the ladies thought another lady was beating her time with her man. So she said something to Petraeus about it. And it was a scandal, right? And then they come out later that this dude giving his mistress classified information to write her book. And guess who didn't go to jail?
No, Petraeus didn't go to jail.
Guess who's still getting a damn retirement check and everything else from the military? Petraeus.
Right.
You get caught with classified information. See what happens.
Yeah.
You saw what Barack said. What if I'd have done what O'Boy did? Barack went out there and said it last week. He said,
what?
This amazing.
Yeah.
All things he did, just put my name on that. And what would have happened?
He did the same thing. He said he was going to run for president another term.
No, they've been putting that out there because Trump said he was going to run.
Obama said, yeah, you go ahead and run. I'm going to run against you.
Hey, look. He said, I'd love to run against Barack.
Well, look, speaking of that, let me ask you, Ben, you guys brought that up. So let's say the next term that's coming up, right? On the Dem side, you know, they throwing out a lot of names right now. I just want to hear what you guys think. Have you heard some of the names that they're throwing out?
No, I haven't.
What's the brother name?
Cory Booker.
Maryland. Yeah, Cory Booker.
Jersey.
Governor of Maryland.
Maryland.
Yeah.
Westmore.
Man, what the hell with Westmore?
Some of the names they throwing out. I mean,
Harris might run again.
Harris might. I mean, do you think a black person should even get in the race at this point? With all what's I saw Bill turn his head there, but I mean, like I said, with all of the racism that Trump done drug out of the damn closet and got back out on the streets, do you think a person of color should even get in the race?
Definitely,
Bill?
yeah.
What do you think, Bill?
Yeah.
We ain't gonna just give that to them and say we ain't gonna run no more simply because they racist. We gonna run until we break through it. They used to see us there. We want to make sure that they used to see us in every race. We can run.
So you say yes, Smith.
I agree.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
Bill. Let me hear what Bill got. What do you think, Bill?
I don't know. I think that Barack Obama got elected because the economy crashed,
Right.
and they were willing to elect the devil if the devil had run for president.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's how Barack got in.
Yep.
After Barack got in, these good Americans and I wanted to thank Joe and Bobby and Leonard because I think that they brought out some very good points about we have to consider all aspects of the impact of voting on election.
Mhm.
But a lot of the Americans look at y'all had your chance.
Mhm.
Y'all had your chance. Now let's wait another 100 years and we'll get somebody.
100 years.
Mhm.
But so if the economy collapses, look, if Trump belches before he can change his mind about the about the tariffs like he did today, I'm had some unpopulated islands. I looked them up and put a tariff on Herod Island and McDonald Island out there in the Pacific. Ain't nothing out there but
Ain't
pigs.
nothing out there.
Nothing but penguins. Nothing but penguins.
Hey, them fools said they put it on there just in case you think about shipping something through there and trying to go around the tariff. I was like, who the hell gonna go there to ship it?
Mm.
Nobody thought
Mm.
You got to go there and ship it.
Mm.
Well, they never been
So
around. They never been around penguins.
No.
you gotta go there to ship it.
exactly. The
Yeah.
So
FedEx man,
hold
out
up.
there.
So hold up now. So what you saying, Bill? What you say? Yay or nay?
I'm saying, I'm saying, I'm saying anything is possible. The probability of that carrying is maybe 2%.
Mm. Okay, Bobby, you've
I'm
got the
saying,
question.
listen, I'm with it. It's
You say put.
as my man James Carville would say, it's about the economy, stupid.
Okay. That's
And
okay.
that's 100%.
Absolutely.
One or two. And you want to see more than one? Because you're gonna start splitting the vote up now.
Well,
You're gonna start dividing the votes
but
up.
that's just
If you
the
put more
primary.
than one in there. Yeah, well that's true.
But that's the primary.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I agree with what Smitty said. The more the merrier they'll run for. Just let them know that hey, we ain't backing down because y'all saying that. We still gonna run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What you say, Ron?
We can't back down, man, because there's people behind us watching us, our kids, our grandkids. We just gonna leave them and die straight. We just gonna give up and say, every man for himself. And that's kind of what's going on now is we have a lot of uneducated voters.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know exactly the weight that the vote carries.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
you
true.
can't haphazardly go in there and pull a lever because you like this guy because he or you like that guy because he handsome.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what's happening is people, and when you destroy education and school systems, that's going to happen. That's a byproduct of not being educated. And like, how many young kids even know what civics mean?
Mm.
Right. They don't teach it
Get
no
them
more.
told,
They used to teach it in school.
right? They don't even know what that means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because when it comes to that part in school, they tune out or they ain't at school.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's killing us with our folks is, we vote based on what we getting out of it.
Yeah.
And that's sad. But that's how we vote. If it ain't nothing in it for us, well, I don't like Kamala. She locked up people. When she was a prosecutor, she was locking us up. Why are we voting for her? And
Right.
that's the one I said, you got a felony record. Which one of them jobs did you interview for in the federal government? And they said you've been hired.
But
Right.
but Ron, you on the right track, and this is one of the things that I deal with all day in school, right? Where it ain't never my fault. The teacher gave me a D.
Yep.
The teacher gave me an F. What did you do for that teacher to give you that grade?
Nothing. I did nothing.
That's why you got that F.
Absolutely nothing. That's why you got it.
That's why you got that grade, right? But
That's why you got the F.
And then the parents come in there with the same thing. You gave I didn't give your son nothing. I didn't give your daughter nothing.
He earned it.
Yeah.
When you go to work every day and you put them hours in, and if they don't pay you for them hours that you were there working,
Right.
is that wrong? Yes, it is. Because you put your time in. You should get what you're supposed to get out of it. If you don't put your time in, then you gonna get nothing.
Exactly.
It's nothing. Listen, this thing ain't rocket science. But this is what we live with. It ain't my fault.
Right.
It's everybody around me. I sent y'all. Did I send y'all the thing about my man talking about, hey, I didn't get here by myself, right? Because everybody want to walk around and say, oh, I did this and I did that.
Right.
There's nothing in this life that you attain on your own.
Absolutely right.
Nothing. There was somebody to help you along the way, whether they spoke to you and taught you something, or they actually, you know what I mean? It's never just you. You are the one that received the accomplishment,
right?
But there's always somebody to help you get to that peak.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
A coach, if you play basketball in high school, make it to college, make it to the pros, and become an all-star and go to the Hall of Fame, you had teammates, you had coaches, you had all of that to help you get to that point. You didn't do it by yourself, but you're the one whose name go on that plaque in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
All of the other people that help you, they don't go on there, but you didn't get there by yourself.
Preach.
And that's the thing that I try to tell these kids every day, like, yo, you go make it in this life by yourself. Oh, I don't need nobody. You don't need anybody. You don't. You're 100% right. You don't need anybody. You need everybody. You need everybody.
Well,
because you ain't doing it by yourself.
We live in the country, Bobby, where it's America first. We don't need no allies.
And that's the thing. And that's another thing. Like, you're not gonna make it in this world without other countries. You can have America first, but you're not gonna make it without these other countries. You're not gonna do it. It's not gonna happen. Because America's only one portion. Now, if everybody around there come together and come against America, what do you have? You ain't got nobody to help you.
Right.
You got nobody to call on and say, hey, look, can you go talk to Syria? Because we can't talk to them. They don't want to talk to us. But these people, they don't get it. It's all about me. You learn, you drive a car. You don't come out the womb saying, they be like, but we're going to give you keys we wait until you turn 16, 17. We're going to give you some keys and you going to get in the car and go. Somebody teach you how to drive the car. We are so caught up on this thing about me. And that's why I say when I vote for the masses. If it's something out there that's going to help the bulk of the country, I'm voting for that.
Right.
Because it's not about me.
another thing, you know, it's about money. You know, everything now is about money. Nobody cares about a hill of beans about those little babies over in South Africa with their belly swole up and flies flying on, nothing to eat. Nobody cares anymore. Not as in that administration that's in there now, because they're just cutting all of that. You know, there's still people that have the good values and morals. You know, they still have them. But as far as them,
why would I care about a hellhole country?
You know.
No, say it like it was a shithole. That's right.
Yeah, a shithole country, whatever you call it. You know.
Yep. Bill, you hear something?
Yeah, I was going to thank each person.
This is the end of session 2 of the Crash of the Stock Market podcast. Stay tuned for part 3, the last and final session of the Crash of the Stock Market. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help my channel. See you on session 3 of the Crash of the Stock Market.